All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rocket Launcher Podcast, episode 129. I am your host, Supreme King. Join with me, as always, is my co-host, and his name is...
It's your guy, Omazis.
Yes, sir. Well, I don't want to say the winter is over, because it's not.
No, why?
But
You're already jinxing it.
but I mean, we had like maybe 2 or 3 days of 40-degree weather, and it had completely wiped away a major amount of snow, to the point where it's only like where people plowed their little mountains and stuff. That's it. That's all we got left. And which lines up because usually once you do about 1 or 2 weeks of March, that's pretty much it. I'm very happy to be over the bulk of it. But anyways, man, gaming podcast, not a weather podcast. I actually we might as well just start with the funny part. For me, I think it's kind of interesting. The PS Plus for March 2025, the headliner is one of your games, apparently. This is Dragon Age the Veilguard, and it's not only that. Now we also got Sonic Colors Ultimate. I had already had a copy of that on Xbox, so I get to have another copy on PlayStation. Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection. I actually didn't have this copy. I just had all the older emulator versions. But
this is 13 games, like 13 in that collection. So
so that's a pretty good collection, of all the different games from the past till now. Is not so for anybody needing to know, the Shredder's Revenge game is separate. That's not a part of this, just so you know, for anybody who is like wondering. But so it's a good collection. I think it's a good collection, even though there's a few people that's been laughing at it tongue in cheek. Dragon Age came out
in October.
I want to say at the very end of that little like super game release month, or maybe it was the next month.
It was October 24th.
It feel like December to me. I don't know why. It feel like it didn't have no time whatsoever. But it came out. It got lost in the shuffle of so many other things. But it got killed from the get-go. Let's really be honest. It did. It got killed from the get-go.
Crazy. When you look up some of the online things like on Reddit, I constantly get posts from that community, and a lot of people in here are like, all right, I started it. Where's all the woke stuff? Right? Or like, why'd this game fail? And everybody's like, because it got just labeled kind of as woke, and then people just moved on. When I think I said it on the podcast before, that like that whole scene that everybody was like, this is the reason why you shouldn't play it. I didn't get that scene until like 48 hours in to the game, and like that's when
Listen, for a lot of people though, it don't matter. I guess all it takes is one jump, one drop of it, and it's done. That's how it is.
And it's crazy because it really, like, out of everything in that game, that is, especially all the things I could complain about, that is like so low on the list. So, to be honest, for people who are actual Dragon Age fans, if you're planning on playing this is a summary. I think the biggest issue for me is that the main character that you play as just kind of feels inconsequential to the story. Like he doesn't feel like the main character, and he doesn't really feel that important. Like you're kind of like helping things kind of flow, but like when you compare it to like Inquisition, like that game wouldn't happen without your character. Like you make all the decisions and everything. Where in this one, you kind of don't, and the writers weren't as great with this one. Like there was a lot of just bad writing. It was, the combat, the gameplay itself is fun. Hopefully people who try it out, that part you'll enjoy. Like the gameplay itself, the combat for it is fun, especially if you're a person who really likes playing as a mage, because you really get to be mage without having to just be in the background and like basically a range person and just kind of slinging a fireball here and there. Like you get to really like play as a combat mage, and that was really fun, which really carried me through the whole game. But it's cool that it's a PS Plus. Maybe more people will give it a shot now instead of just like, "It's welcome, I'm done," or not wanting to pay 70, which I understand. So hopefully more people give it a shot, and we'll see.
I was expecting to get it for free on Epic. I didn't
Same.
expect it to actually come. I mean, it could have came to play at PS Plus or Game Pass, but I didn't expect it to happen like right now though.
Yeah.
I expect it to be a part of Epic and probably be released either next year or this holiday season when they do like 17, 16, 17 games at a time. But for it to come that fast, that's
Bad.
pretty jarring because I don't even think Saints Row 2 years prior, I don't think that even came that fast. I think
Yeah.
there was still a few more months. So this game didn't
I
really get that many legs, that much leg room at all.
I
It
can see why it would come out early. I don't think it was about to start doing some more major sales. I feel like the people who, because of its Dragon Age lore and because of the backlash with it, honestly, this is one of the games where like the people who were gonna get it got it already, and everybody else was waiting until it was free.
hmm
I do feel like for this game particularly, I feel like if they waited almost even longer, probably less people would jump on to play it because they've been moved on to something else like GTA 6. So,
Well, I remember when they were first showing this off and people were doing their reviews on it, they did mention the whole like decision making thing was really not that, apples and oranges. It was pretty much just you were just saying stuff and then that was
oh,
it. And then they didn't even say, they weren't even as like rude as you probably would have wanted them to in certain dialogues and stuff. And that was
also,
one thing, and I kind of felt like that insults my intelligence a little bit. That was a
let's,
complaint I had.
oh, imagine how worse it is when you do get to do that stuff in the games right before it. Like I think I mentioned before, where like for Inquisition, like you could just be this evil, just mean dictator, or you could be the kindest, I give everybody a second chance type of person, and everything in between. Um, and this game was a lot more just like, haha, I'm sarcastic. And somebody pointed this out, and I saw it, and I didn't even realize it until they said it, that with the dialogue options, if you were allowed to be mean to a person, that was a hint that they were going to also be a mean jerk. Like you were only extra rude to anyone who's going to be pretty much a villain or like rude as well. If they were somehow supposed to be in any way a friend or companion, mean was not an option, which it was in the other games. So
Well, um, I might end up playing the series in reverse. Just because I don't have, I have PlayStation Plus, and I don't really plan on keeping it for a long time though. So I may end up just starting with this and playing the series in reverse. Inquisition, I have it on PC. The older games, I think I have them on the Xbox, and I could probably pair this with Bloodborne and finish up Bloodborne and play this with it and give it a shot. But yeah, I think this is in the same boat as Saints Row now. I think the series might end up being done. Whenever we see
oh
something
yeah,
like that, that's pretty much the end of it.
which is so
Um,
sad.
I
This one
do.
at least
Mm-hmm.
can continue in like literature form because it did have books and comics and companion stuff. So if the creator
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to finish out more story stuff, I don't know how involved with the games the creator was. I think it was kind of like here's an overview of the story, but he didn't really. I don't think he really worked on Veilguard. But if they want to continue the story, he can at least do it in that form. Saints Row doesn't have that luxury.
Well, Dragon Age the Veilguard. I guess people will get a chance to try it. I remember I did say initially too that I didn't like the fact that they were doing the mush mouth thing. But at least if it's given away in some form factor, people get to try it. I wouldn't be surprised if that after this dies down here, that it might show up on Game Pass as well. That's probably the best move for the developer at this point, is to put it on platforms where multiple people can just try it, and they can probably try to see if they can get a resurgence for the franchise, but I really doubt it. I do think it's going to be in the same boat as Saints Row. It is what it is. But not only that, the PS Plus collection for March, Sonic Colors, which I believe is a remaster from, I think that came out as far back as the Wii, if I'm not mistaken. But that was one of the games that people thought was one of the better Sonic games, and we're at the point now where we have a Sonic game every year, and so you can still check out Team Sonic Racing while it's still on sale. I hope it's still on sale because I told everybody last week it was like $10, and I did buy it for $10 because I felt like that was about as cheap as it was gonna get. And then you have this on PS Plus if you have PS Plus, and so if you're a hardcore Sonic fan, you got plenty of Sonic. You should not be complaining at all. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection, I mean, that's a lot of games. So please have fun with that. That's a lot of stuff in there. I do think actually as a overall month for PlayStation's PS Plus that this looks pretty solid. It may not be the best, and it may not be like the one game you really wanted, but if it was the one game you really wanted, I would just say, well, just go buy it if you really want it that bad. But this looks solid overall. It's just, unfortunately, it just means that we just watched another franchise die, basically. But who knows? It might resurge if a bunch of people hop on, and all of a sudden they just get a much bigger player base. Somebody might look at it and say, "Hey, let's see if we can keep this going." But that's it for that. I would like to move forward. Funny enough, I do want to mention the game Dauntless. If anybody remembers Dauntless, apparently Dauntless is also getting ready to shut down. And that was a online only game, if I'm not mistaken.
There should be a way to at least like, it's like now it's like single player or private server, and you can like go refight the beast, and we're just not gonna add any more, right? Like, but you get to continue playing the game as is. I don't like the idea that people put in money to a game and then it's just like you can't play anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, you can. You were able to buy stuff in this game, right? This was a microtransaction because I never actually did that. I just kind of went in there and just like did the Monster Hunter thing, but
that's beyond the point. Like I didn't put any money into it either, but you could.
How long did this last? Ooh. How long did Dauntless last?
Dauntless came out like 2010ish. I feel like it's been old. This came out 2018.
2018. That's
2019. 18 was the beta, so 2019. So 6 years.
It's officially so people should have gotten some time in it. It does suck that it's probably gone, but I don't think that overall this type of game is going away. Obviously, I mean, clearly Monster Hunter is right there for a lot of people. So Dauntless, I mean, it is what it is. It does seem kind of odd that we're just shutting stuff down instead of letting people host servers. Because there is a game out there that is old as dirt where the server is yet alive. And that's a game called Left 4 Dead where apparently, you can get in there and manipulate the game however you want. And I feel like the developers and everybody else was long done with this game. And I feel like a lot of games who have that type of thing, they should allow the fan base to keep it going. And if it just dies because there's no fan base, then it dies because there's no fan base. But I don't think it should be turned off when people are still trying to get in the building, basically. So Dauntless is another one of those. I guess it is what it is. If it was up to me, I would have said, let the people have the servers, whatever, like, thing you've done to do the outfits and the weapons and stuff, just release it so everybody can customize whatever they want, and then just let them have it, because I don't know how they did that in Left 4 Dead, but I'm almost willing to bet, like, the developers were long done with that. And that's just left to the public. And it's like, can everybody else do that? Because it didn't that game just like start where it was like a custom server, and we didn't find out until afterwards.
find best server, and then every time we get a tank, they're always like a different color now. Like I think we've played it once where it was normal, and every other time there's been some sort of customization.
Yeah, I feel like that's in the mod category in a way. Like
Yep.
when you have stuff like that going on, and so I feel like something like Dauntless could really really get transformed by that. Imagine people creating all types of kaiju's and Godzillas and all this other stuff, and just doing what they want with it, and people jumping in. I mean, they should have just let the people have it, but I guess they're not doing that, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I forgot what they said. This is shutting down, but if you really care about this game, play as much of it as you can right now. May 30th. And I think Monster Hunter Wilds comes out right before that, so I can imagine a bulk of that player base is really going to be over there anyway. But yeah, another one down, man. Another one bites the dust. Uh, we just losing them left and right. More bad news, if we want to go there and say it's bad news. I would like to mention Xbox's game Fable is being pushed into 2026. Now, for me, I don't feel like this is bad news. I feel like every game from what we've seen in the past so far, every game that needs time should get it. I don't think we should rush anything out the door. I don't really know what the development state is for it. I can only go off of whatever, trailer they've had for us, and the last trailer looked fine. But if they need more time, I say give them more time. Do you have any thoughts on that? 2026.
I'd rather them not release something broken, and you also, again, you're trying, if you're going to come out late in the year, you're competing with a heavy name, so it might be better to wait a little and make sure your game's perfect. Because that's another thing. If you release by GTA 6 and your game got bugs in it, it's over. It is absolutely over for you.
Yeah.
You have to tell people, wait for our next update to continue playing, and GTA 6 is out. They ain't coming back. So,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of games were being pushed into 2026 because of GTA. But I honestly feel like GTA itself might get pushed into 2026, which is going to make it kind of hilarious for the rest of the games.
No, especially anyone who does, if you get a random late announcement like, we're moving our game to 2026, and then GTA announces it, and then they're like, surprise, we're releasing it in November. Then you know exactly why they pushed it. So that's going to be fun. If GTA moves to the next year and just ruins everybody else.
Yeah, it's a weird time frame too, because these companies are so fragile right now, and they almost can't hold the building open for anything, and so like something like that is still going to hurt them no matter what, because if they're in a situation where they can't afford to rush it and then they can't afford to delay it, because of the sales or the price of the people. I mean, like I said before, GTA 6 is going to disrupt the economy for sure, because you're gonna have a bunch of people who's gonna not only call off work. I'm pretty sure people gonna quit, and then this game is gonna cause certain studios to shut down. They're already shutting down for the littlest things now. Like we gonna have some of them shutting down and consolidating, based on this one game and Rockstar and Take-Two. It is what it is, but for anybody else who just really needs it, Fable is still backed by one of the most, profitable companies, period. So I don't think that's really the issue. It's probably just something else. I did hear there were some conspiracy theories saying it was being pushed back because Xbox was going to make it the first ever game that's day and date with PlayStation, which I really think that's kind of a stretch, but people are doing that. I think it's more just the development, because from what we've seen with everything else is really the development. Even Avowed was like that, and Avowed is just now coming out, right? It was something that was supposed to come out, I think, about a year ago. So that's all it really is for that one. So that one's not shutting down, that one is just being pushed back. But if we want to talk about more games that's shutting down, would you like to talk to us about Wonder Woman?
Yeah, it's not happening anymore. So, for whatever reason, Monolith is shutting down or got shut down because Warner Bros. Is the worst company ever and
It's the
just
worst
doesn't know what
company.
they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They just keep canceling stuff, and I don't get why. Like they finished that Acme, like it was like Wile E. Coyote versus Acme movie that just they like a lot of people wanted to see, and they're like done. They did Batgirl, and they're like, nah, we're not releasing it. Like, and then for the game side, they closed down Multiverses. That's getting shut down, and they closed down Monolith. Then they're like, well, there goes the Wonder Woman game. That like apparently they just announced it wasn't coming out anytime soon, and they already sunk $1 million into it. And because they're closing down Monolith, you know what Monolith owned? The Nemesis system that they used in the Shadow of Mordor games that
Mm-hmm.
never, because it got copyrighted, it didn't get put into any other game. And it was that whole system where like a villain can keep coming back and how you defeated them before, like changes how they act the next time. So it, like creates a nemesis for you. And it was like this whole creative thing that they were like, no, we own that. No one else can use it. And they're like, are you going to put it in another game? And they're like, nah. And then it was supposed to come back in this Wonder Woman game, reportedly. And now that Monolith is gone, so is the Nemesis system with it. So, like, it's like Warner Bros., what are you doing? So it's gone. No Wonder Woman game. Multiverses is gone too.
I almost felt like Wonder Woman probably should have canceled when the movie did. I don't know why one was canceled without the other. It just seemed kind of odd.
Oh, it's because I feel like the movie was canceled just because they were redoing the whole universe with James Gunn. So he
Yeah,
could
but
have
the
like,
movie was bigger than this game, though. It was like way
yeah.
bigger than this game.
But also because he wanted the games and movies, he wanted to be one giant universe to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
He could have like had them restructure the story to follow like whatever he's doing, especially because he's not doing a Wonder Woman movie right away. He's doing that Amazon's TV show first. He could have restructured the story, but I don't know. I feel like I just at this point too, it's reminding me like don't care when they like announce something with a teaser. Like you need to see a full blown trailer because if they just like tease it like they did with this and like they did with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, where it just showed the thing and everybody's like, oh my god, they're redoing it, and then it's like psych, canceled.
I don't know. It was just kind of strange because I thought like the movie would have pushed the game, and so when they canceled that movie, the third film, I didn't actually see the second film. I will
I
probably
did.
see it eventually, but when they did that, because I felt like the movie star, she was a star, right?
Yeah.
To an extent. I mean, it wasn't as big as Marvel, but I felt like she was big enough because she was part of the big 4 or 5 of them that was carrying the whole thing. What was left of it. So when they stopped on that, I was like, well, there goes the game because they hadn't even really talked about the game. Because they really only had like a teaser trailer at one point at a big announcement at one of the Game Awards, one of them years. And that was really it. It was like nothing else. And then when they canceled that movie, I was like, oh, well, there goes the game. But then they didn't really say nothing. And then now they're actually saying something. So I was like, what did you keep working on that entire time to just say no?
Apparently, they announced it in 2021. But like again, Warner Bros. They straight up canceled 2 movies that were finished. Right? So that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have been really working on this Wonder Woman game the whole time. And then they're just like, nah, never mind. And they're like, bro, we're a month away from being done. And they're like, nah, we good. Sorry. Because that's what they do. Because Warner Bros. Just doesn't care about DC. And I just don't know why DC keeps dealing with them. Because they don't care. The fact that they saw all of this, or they did Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, right?
Yeah.
And instead of making it a legit, just like Suicide Squad game with a story, they just went with generic shooter. And it didn't work. And the Warner Bros. Logic was, oh, I see. It didn't work because we didn't make it, what is it? Free to play like loot game where you put money into it. Like our bad. That was their full logic. Was if they would have left it with like paying stuff, then people would have actually played it. If it was live service, people would have played it. And then their other logic was that's okay. We'll just cancel everything and we get it. All you want is Batman. And people were saying like, "Where's the Superman game? Where's this? Where's that?" And they're like, "Ah, it doesn't work because you only like Batman." It's like, well, the Batman games were good, and then everything else you've released has been at best mediocre. And they're like, nah, we get it. It's because you only want to play Batman and you want live service. We got you. Like, they don't listen. The Warner Bros. Guy just doesn't listen. He doesn't care.
There's a big push right now I've seen for people asking for a Batman Beyond game all of a sudden.
Yeah.
When I see it, I always think like, why don't you just put on the Batman Beyond suit and one of the other ones? But
Good,
I
but
guess
like
people want the
Batman
game.
Beyond can, like, glide and fly, and I
Hmm.
like to see that with like old Batman and some of the high tech stuff, and the Batman Beyond villains, and like a high tech city and
Do people
everything.
really remember the villains though? Do they
Some
really
do Blight.
remember it?
Yeah, they remember Blight because it
Because
was
it
the
was.
whole joke for Blight. I've actually been seeing it brought back up. Was he was like super radioactive and everything, and he just kept
Hmm.
killing people because he was like a dirty landlord. Like basically, he kept wanting their land and to buy stuff to make mega malls. And if they didn't want to sell, he had them murdered. And like that was his whole villain thing. He had superpowers, but he didn't do anything past trying to steal land. Uh, and then there's Ink, and then the Royal Flush Gang. That was a big story. Um, yeah, people remember Batman Beyond. The Joker Gang.
Yeah, well, if they do it, I'll play it.
Oh yeah,
No doubt about it. But it might get canceled. Everything else get canceled.
yeah.
I don't know
It'll
what's
get
going
canceled.
on, but I think we're out of canceled games. We had a bunch of stuff I just mentioned already, but maybe we can jump into something that's a little bit more lighter, depending on how you look at it. Because I saw people jump on this as well. The Pokemon event that they
I'll
showed.
rewind about
How
it.
how did you feel about that?
Pokemon Day. It's always fun. They announced some cool stuff. A bunch of card game related stuff. I know
Yeah.
they have the virtual card game, and then the regular card game, and the collections, and a bunch of that. The Pokemon Go events is going, which is great because I just saw reports that people were like, "I think Pokemon Go is going to get shut down," and then they're like, "Here's some new stuff happening." So I'm like, "Yeah, in your face." It's nice to see that they support all of their stuff, even things that I don't even play. So like, I don't play that Pokemon Cafe or the picture one, but the fact that they still like, hey, we have an audience for it, so here's some stuff for you too. We're not forgetting about you, is awesome. And then they announced Pokemon Legends ZA finally.
Hmm.
There's a new Pokemon Legends game. So I think the strategy that they're going with is remake of an old one, regular, and then a Legends, and then a remake of the old one, regular Legend, and like DLC in between years.
I saw some pushback on that ZA game a little bit though,
Um, uh,
because people
well,
feel like it doesn't really look like it brought anything new to the table
it
compared to
doesn't.
what they've seen before.
So I think part of the issue is with that is when they released like Legends Arceus, right? It was like,
Hmm.
yo, you can run around the way you interact with Pokemon, the way you catch them, and all the other stuff is different. But then they implemented that in Scarlet and Violet,
Okay.
and then because of that, now it's not a thing that's just for the Legends games. And then I thought that they said like I remember hearing that ZA was supposed to be futuristic because Legends Arceus was in the past, but their futuristic just looks like a normal city now. They
Hmm.
didn't go super high tech like I thought they were gonna do. Um, so now it just looks like a normal city, and you're running around doing what you could already do in Scarlet and Violet.
Hmm.
So I think that's they should have. And again, with my, I don't know how other people feel, but like Scarlet and Violet is like the first mainline Pokemon game that I have not completed. I keep trying to get back into it, and it's the first time I've ever been like bored with it. Like I feel like they did the open world thing, but for the most part, it's empty to a degree. Like it's I
Hmm.
don't know, and I never feel like I'm accomplishing enough. Like there's routes that you go in the older games, so it's like there's always like you feel like you're progressing. Where this, I just feel like I'm running around in circles. Um, and I don't know, it's just off. And I think it's because they didn't really implement the Legends gameplay correct. It worked in Legends Arceus because everything felt new, and everything looked all like old school. And now it's just another game. So we'll see. Um, but I mean, it's gonna get paid, or people are gonna buy it. It's Pokemon.
Yeah, that might be his downfall a little bit, because that might be why they don't feel the need to put the effort in. But I
Yeah.
feel as if for me, it's almost like the PlayStation Pro thing. Some of those games, I'm kind of waiting to see how much better they would run on the Switch too.
Mm.
I don't think I would really like. I could buy them and just keep them on standby, but I would a lot of them. Bayonetta 3 was another one. Like the ones that looked like they were struggling and people were criticizing the performance. I kind of want to see like if the Switch 2 can correct that. I really
Yeah.
hope that they put some thought into that instead of just we have to come out with another console just for the sake of coming out with another console. I really do hope it upgrades and run some of those games at the frame rates that are more stable, above 30 FPS, please, for some of them. So at this point, I'm just waiting to see if the Switch 2 can do that and see some of these tech channels, show that off, test out some stuff. And Pokemon is one of those. I want to say, I think I already said it, Bayonetta was another one.
Mm.
And any game that has come out and we've heard that it struggled basically to run on the Switch 1, I would hope that the Switch 2
Can
picks
handle
up
it.
the slack.
Okay.
But along with the Pokemon thing, yeah, they did have like a lot of other pieces of their franchises, like the card games and the mobile stuff. And Pokemon at this point is holding its own as a franchise where it's its own thing, from the TV show to some of the movies and everything else. But they I don't think they'll ever be as big as Star Wars, but they're trying. They're
Yeah.
definitely trying.
I'm, uh, I'm happy that just Mega Evolutions are back. Hopefully, we can get some more. I really liked the like Mega Evolution stuff. Where you got like Charizard X and Charizard Y and all the other Megas. Like, I think they look cool. So I'm excited for that.
I cannot wait to see Super de Duper Mega Evolution and Power World 2. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and shout out the epic rival to Steam and Steam users. Epic Games is our unofficial sponsor. They've been our unofficial sponsor this entire time. Hopefully one day they might give us a check. That would be pretty awesome, or a free code to something. But
Hey.
anyways, I shout them out just because they give out free stuff and you can't complain when something's free. Free is free. I am starting to find out a lot more as I deep dive into the lore that there really is a deep hatred for Epic Games coming from the Steam community. But anyways, we all gotta hate them over here. We can just enjoy the free stuff because, like I said, we all like the free stuff. But anyways, the free game that they got this week is really only one game this week and one game next week from what I was seeing, which is
Okay.
okay. But that was Mages of Mysteria. Did I say
Yep.
that right? Um, I don't know what that's about, but it's free. Go check it out. The next one was the most hilarious name and hilarious. Them's Fighting Herds.
Yeah, them's fighting her.
Um, if you go look at the cover art for it, it'll probably tell you everything you need to know. And that's as far
So,
as I gotta go with it.
I will actually do want to talk about that one. So
hmm
the part of the creator and animator for it is Lauren Faust. I want to give her a shout out. Lauren Faust is the creator and designer for My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, along
hmm
with working on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, the original Powerpuff Girls. Her husband is the creator of Powerpuff Girls. Um,
Interesting.
and she like worked on that. So she has that and like the DC Supergirls show, like that art style. It's that, and then it's a fighting game though. I'm actually excited for that one.
Well, that one is available from March 6th to March 13th. The first game is available right now until March 6th. It's crazy to see these dates, just to think that we're really about to head into March that fast, because I feel like the year still just started. But we're going into month 3 that quickly. It's crazy. But these are the free games. Like I said before, as far as sales wise, go check out on Steam the Team Sonic Racing game to prepare you for the new one, and then go grab Sonic Colors Ultimate, I guess, when that is available. See, I could be nice to Sonic. I'm not always hating on Sonic. If you guys like Sonic, they got some merch out here that's really really cheap. So go check that out. Go check out some of the movies. It's 3 of them so far, right? 3 of the new ones with Jim Carrey and Keanu Reeves. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I do want to mention for myself that I did buy the translucent red Xbox controller called the Pulse Cypher. I haven't fired it up yet. I just got it in the mail today. It looks very nice. So I got the blue one and the red one, and I really do enjoy the way they look. And for my co-host, am I okay? Is it okay if I go sideways for like 30 seconds? Can I go sideways? Can I shock the world for 30 seconds and say something really crazy?
Oh, sure. Don't get it canceled.
I just want to say rest in piss to the GameStop that's near me that had to shut down because that was the same GameStop that did not honor their agreement and give me my extra $5 off that I tried to get on this blue controller, and this dude had the nerve to try to tell me do I still want it after he told me he couldn't give me the $5 discount, and got his manager on the line. They both looked at it and stuff and was like, oh yeah, he does currently have it, but we're not gonna give it to him because we don't really know how to do it. We're not even gonna try. Well, guess what? All of a sudden the GameStop gets shut down. They took the actual thing off of the window and stuff. What's that? The big sign off of the brick and everything. I'm like, yeah, you ain't got no job no more. Okay, I'm done.
Dang.
I'm done.
All right.
I had to get out of my system.
On the free games thing, if we want to go back positive, I'm happy we were able to get that off your chest. Amazon has released all their games for the month. Some of the bigger headliners that they have. There was a Smurfs game called the Smurfs 2, The Prisoner of the Greenstone. They also had Wolfenstein Youngblood, as well as the Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, along with a bunch of other games. So either through GOG, directly through Prime, gaming. Some were given through Epic Games, but directly on here. And one of the newer ones that they did, as well, is through the Microsoft store. So the Wolfenstein Youngblood, you can either get it for Xbox, you can claim it direct, and it'll go directly to your Xbox, or if you have a PC, you can claim it that way, and it's through the Microsoft Store. Which again, it'll be free. You just have to have a Microsoft account.
Okay. All right. Real quick, I want to tell people to go on YouTube and check out the Lives of P Overture story trailer. I thought it was very well done. It almost made it look like it was going to be for like a movie. And I'm like, this game's already been out for a while. It's a really hot game, but it made me like hype for a game that was already out, you know. And it looked really good, so I thought people should go check that out. That's really cool looking. I was looking through Epic Games like catalog, and the games that they gave away for free. I had no idea that Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first game, was actually given away at one point, and I know the second one is hot right now. So I might actually check that out real quick just because it was given away. I did re-download the Master Chief Collection, and I got the campaign to start, but I stopped it. I just wanted to see if it can start, so it didn't crash. And I just wanted to mention that because I'm going to get back on that very soon. The last thing I want to mention while I still have it on the screen is the Power Rangers right before we wrap things up. And I showed you how it's not really video game related. It's just the last thing I just wanted to mention because we talked about their figures and stuff for a while in the past. But it looks like they're trying to resurge. Funny enough, because we timed this correctly for once. They trying to redo the Megazord again. And how do you feel about the next Megazord? It's the same one. We never got a new one yet of a different season. The same original Megazord they're trying to bring back. They're trying to bring back the flip head Power Rangers again, and I believe like some of the weapons that you can just have. And how do you feel about this new versions of them? Hasbro partnered with whoever else. How do you feel about it?
Than 3 seasons of Power Rangers. There's 30 seasons. There's 30 seasons of Power Rangers. Why are they so focused on just 3? I don't get it. The crowd that likes Mighty Morphin also likes Zeo, Turbo, and In Space. Then there's another generation. Then there's another generation. Then there's another generation. Like,
I think one day I'm gonna sit down and write down the releases of the original Megazord, like all of them, their prices, the years they came out, and just see how many of them there are. Because I know it's over 10. I know it's got to be at this point.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely because they did it again.
Who haven't gotten anything.
Yeah, it looks cheaper too. That's the thing. It doesn't look like it's better. Nope. The flip heads look a little weird.
They also look cheap.
Like the Green Ranger's ones, his shield is like embedded on the toy now, where the other ones there were like you could take the shield off, put it on the other ones and stuff. It's like you can't even really do that no more. I don't know why they feel the need to re-release it again. They tried to call it another name. It's like it's only so many times you can do it, because even when Hasbro was doing it with the Lightning Collection, they went as far as like make them glitter and all this stuff. The only thing I was really calling for, and I was glad that they did it, was the Ninja Rangers. Yep. But at that point, it was just like, well, we're done with Mighty Morphin, but I guess not. And like they went ahead and did the Turbo Red Ranger, and I thought they would actually go through the full thing. They didn't even go through the full thing before Hasbro.
Turbo Red. That's
yeah.
Turbo, and they're like, well, here's your red one. Leave it alone.
Yeah, when I saw the Megazord again, I was just like, man, like, it's because at this point too, because you know what's really dumb? This is the last thing I probably could say on it is they'll come out with the Megazord, but they'll do the same thing they keep doing. They make it too expensive and not available. And then the same people who probably do want it, they're fighting bots, it's sold out, and you don't get it. It's like a hassle to try to get it. You don't put it in the store. I'm like, well, the same thing gonna keep happening every year. So why are you wasting all the people's time? I don't even know.
People who are in charge are idiots across the board. Everyone who's in charge doesn't understand how it works, and they're all just dumb. So they're like, "Well, just do this," and they're just like, "Oh, I don't know why it didn't work," and then they come to some stupid conclusion.
Yeah. The only way I could see this even working just a little bit is if they stock the stores with them. But if you do another thing where it's just only available online, you only do 1,000 of them every year and a half, then I don't know what to tell you. It's not gonna work again, because I don't even think that many people even know. But that's all I really got. Anything else you want to say? This Power Ranger footage is about to stop. We might as well end it here. Anyways, go get Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, and probably even the collector's edition if you can. Support it here. I don't know about the toys, but at least support the games. I want to see some more of the games. But that's all I got. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I will catch y'all next week. Peace.